Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Esteemed Gentlemen podcast for Friday, February 25th. I'm your host, Scott Labrie, and joined alongside me, Uncle Teabag, Tyler Sunt,
Hello.
and all day Eric Deshane.
Yellow.
How's it going today, boys?
Going
Not
good.
too shabby. Not too shabby.
You say that, but we,
You saw what happened.
yeah.
Yeah, we know. Yeah,
My mic was still turned on.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's not
Getting
too
ready.
shabby at Tyler's house. Well, I mean,
Not too shabby. It's not as chaotic as it can be.
yeah.
It's just typical chaos. Controllable chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
all good. That's all good.
Speaking of uncontrollable chaos,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about it.
I think so too.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's a good topic to talk about.
It's pretty wild. So this happened like last night, I guess. I was like
Yep.
Yeah.
Overnight?
on Twitter, and all of a sudden, hey,
Mhm.
Russia just invaded Ukraine. It's like, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
'Cause-
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, because I was reading up on it, because I know for like the past, like even when I was working at Chev, that was like 5-6 years ago, they were
Mhm.
talking about invading and doing all this stuff. And
Well, they annexed that one
Yeah.
province from them, right?
Uh,
Crimea.
yeah.
Crimea.
Crimea, yeah. Crimea, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about open war and all this stuff too. And it's just like, holy man, I was like all freaked out about it. I'm like, man, this is crazy shit happening. People need to be aware of this, blah, blah, blah. And nothing happened. And then this time it's like, oh, they're actually like, their tanks are on trains. They're moving military vehicles to the border. I'm like, I think they're going to do something. And then sure enough, overnight.
They've been building
Boom.
up like forces since April of last year along the border for a long
Just
time.
slowly creeping in. And
Yeah. So,
now it's,
you fuckers. Yeah.
oh yeah, YouTube's got video footage of all the shit that's going on. And yeah, and then our local Ukrainian Orthodox church is holding a prayer service for them, for the Ukrainians there.
Mhm.
It's pretty legit, pretty crazy shit happening, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the memes are just coming in hot, man.
They
People
are.
are just treating this like another funny thing.
Yeah, how do you feel
awesome.
about that?
I mean, the few I've seen that shared, I'm like, yeah, they're kind of iffy. I mean, like, it's just mostly truthful and some stuff, but like, I don't know, I haven't really seen nothing too like out there too mean, but like, the ones
Yeah,
that-
I saw one meme that was really dark. I didn't even really laugh, but it was like COVID cases have skyrocketed in Ukraine. COVID deaths have. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
Like
that
the
one
internet
is-
is just ruthless, man. Like it's not
It
even
is.
funny.
It is, yeah.
But
you can always count on that internet being heartless. That's the one thing it always does
it's
very well. Yeah.
it's nuts, man. They'll be like the US will be getting invaded and people will have their phones out like taking selfies and making a meme out of it. Like, hey, guess what? Whatever, right?
Mhm.
And just that's I think now society has just been so desensitized to absolutely everything that nothing is detrimental anymore. Nothing is like even when they released, all those interviews from the Pentagon about alien life existing and all the shit that they've seen, and they're just like opening all the books to it, and everybody's like, oh, okay, well, we kind of knew that, so whatever. It's like, how is that whatever?
Mhm.
Like they've just confirmed that there's extraterrestrial life out there and this and that, blah blah blah, and everybody's whatever. And I kind of relate. It's like, you know what? Like shit's just been.
Yeah.
It's just day to day now. Like you just
A lot
go
of-
day to day, and
A lot of the stuff you're just numb to is like, oh yeah, okay, well, whatever. It
Yeah.
doesn't affect my life, I guess. I'll just keep going and do my other thing. Yeah.
right. And it's definitely scary. And some of the footage that I've seen, it's just like in this day and age, like how is this even happening?
That's what
There's so
I was
much-
thinking.
There's so much happening now. I feel like this is probably why Russia's doing what they're doing now. It's because like, oh, like COVID's happening. Oh, these protests in Canada's happening. Oh, all the Alzheimer's happening in America. They don't really care about what's going on over here. They're too busy figuring out what dimension they're in the Pentagon, right? And then now Russia's doing this, and then now I'm reading China is like, well, now's our chance. They're all distracted by Russia. We're gonna go into Taiwan now, and it's just like all the dominoes are just falling down, and one of our coworkers has a relative who's in the Canadian military, and they're getting called in now, and they're gonna be sent to Europe and stationed
Yeah.
probably in Poland, along with everybody else.
The way it sounds, like,
getting ready to
it's all because
make a choice.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do, right? Like
It's
the
all
UN
because
is in such a hard spot now. Like we're going up against a grizzly bear here. Like what the fuck do we do? Do we sacrifice? Like your meme said, do we sacrifice a whole country or do we
Or-
start an open war,
Third World War.
a third world war? Like
Yeah.
what the fuck do you do? Like it's just
Like,
crazy
that's
times. And
exactly all what they're doing, because it's all about all it stemmed from Ukraine wanted to join NATO, and Russia didn't want that because that means you have a NATO sanctioned nation right on their border, like not far from Moscow. So I was like,
telling
big
you what
no.
you can and can't do.
Exactly. So,
And
right, so
Putin doesn't want to be told what to do.
exactly. And the big thing with this too is like, well, no, we want like it's still like fucking Soviet thinking from back in the day still, because it's very much a buffer zone, because they want, as far as they can be from other nations that could be hostile if they ever down the line. They want that buffer area, and Ukraine's that perfect little area like it was before.
Oh,
So that's
it's
why they're
a
coming into
fucking
there, and they want to have control
Yeah.
of the buffer zone, so NATO's not far away from them and far
Right.
away from missiles to Moscow. And yeah, so it's all about like that little area. And
strategic positioning, they call that.
And NATO's like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Because we can't sanction it, because like then we go to open war with Russia. No one
Exactly.
wants that. So like we have to let them kind of have it, I guess. And
There's nothing really else like you can do until it gets to. Well, I mean, not to say that it, like Poland and those other countries don't matter, because they obviously every life obviously matters, like in that kind of situation. But it's like so if you just let them take Ukraine, do they stop there? Like, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that
That's what NATO's doing now? Is like this, sending forces to other neighboring countries that are sanctioned, because if Russia does feel a little ambitious to go and reach for more, they have something there ready to stop it just in case. But like, as far as we all know, they're not going in to help Ukraine at all. It's like, they're on their own pretty much, and that's it. We're not
because you're just
any forces there, nothing. Just
Yeah, well,
The risk
that's
is
the thing.
too
You can't.
high.
Yeah, you can't send forces in there, because then it does turn into a war.
It does,
point.
yes. But
that's
like,
exactly it. The moment you get involved,
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think like you'd have to. Well, what governments are looking at is just enforcing more sanctions and.
Yeah, which I don't know. To me, is about as useful as changing your profile photo with a flag on. It's like, yeah, it helps, but it doesn't do much
I mean,
longer.
they can go further than that. Like they can remove
Yeah.
Russia off of all these international
I
banks and
think
stuff
so.
like that, and then
Yeah.
just really put the
Cut off.
squeeze on them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just kind of let them go on their own island, kind of thing. Which
right? Just basically
Mhm.
financially suffocate them and just try to. But then you do that, and they're going to be like, oh,
They're turning into another communist nation all over again. It's like, oh great, now we have the Soviet Union's back again all of a sudden. I wonder why. What the fuck? Yeah. So
Right.
no.
And then once they run out of resources, they'll be like, well, now we got to forcefully take it now. So you're just delaying the inevitable. So it's like just you don't really want to give them what they want, and
Yeah.
innocent people are obviously getting killed. So you can't really blame them for not doing anything, because there's what are they going to do? There's so much risk, and just I don't know. It's a really fucked up, terrible situation that this is happening in this fucking day and age.
And Putin knows it too, because he knows he can encroach in, take what he wants, and we can do nothing about it. Because if we do more, then it's on us, because we're escalating it at that point. It's like, well, fuck, you're the one overreaching to begin with, you little bastard.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's just and then but it's crazy to see too, like coming from the video game aspect, like that we kind of covered, like there's developers that are actually donating any funds made from sales to the refugees that are leaving the Ukraine and funding emergency services, all that stuff to them too. So that's really cool that like everybody's getting involved. Alberta's donating $1 million to a relief fund, and so it's like, I mean, it's not much, but it's like, what do you do?
Yeah. What
the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
You kind of said it there, Tyler. Like, it's just shocking to see this happen in this day and age. So it's like, because you think, it's been now like 80 years since World War II. It's like, haven't we had like enough war? Can't we all just like get along these days? It's like, all right, you do your thing, I'll do my thing, kind of thing, and then
right.
As long as you ain't fucking committing genocide, or or like we'll push you to be a little bit more friendly and give more rights to your citizens if you're not like up to snuff or whatever. But we're not gonna invade you, and we're not going to shoot missiles at you or whatever. It's like we're done with that. We've done that for like
We're over
thousands of years. We like have all these lines of communication that we should be above all this by now. So like,
yeah,
it's just wild. It's just
it is. Everything's just kind of playing out how a lot of sociology teachers and stuff say, like, you know, like there's so much diversity still, and all of this technology and all of this atomic weapons and all this stuff. It's like one of them is going to destroy everything or take over everything, or everybody's just going to destroy each other and there'll be just absolutely nothing left. So it's going to be like one or the other. So it's like, because like they don't think that a complete world unity can actually happen, because it's just too much too much conflict of interest with everything and everybody's ideologies and religion and all that stuff. So it's just like, man, like everybody has the technology and the weaponry to do serious shit now. Like it's, you know, it's not just like 100,000 men with spears and shields now. It's like, you know, one little country like North Korea has a nuclear bomb. Like, fuck, you can wipe out millions of people with the push of a button now. Like, it's just, shit's crazy. It's fucking crazy. So it's scary. It's scary times. Like, honestly, like I love movies that are based on this stuff. This kind of stuff is really thrilling to me. But like when it's actually happening, it's like, okay, like this isn't funny, man. Like this is not cool. Like at all.
Whoa, time out. Yeah,
yeah. Like okay, whoa, fucking pump the brakes, man. Like.
When you're wrestling with your brother or your friends, and starts to get a little too violent, a little too, it's like, okay, whoa, back off, this is getting too real. All of a sudden, stop.
You're pulling out a knife over a bag of chips. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Like, stop. Take a breath, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
Go through all this shit again? But then, you know.
You think you'd learn, but no.
Right?
People just haven't.
And then you've got the, you know, the crazies out there like, oh, here's our population control solution. Oh, here's, you know, our economy solution. Here's, you know. I don't know, man. Like, it's scary shit. Crazy times, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not hoping for any violence at all, but I'm hoping that, you know, because I think they've officially completely overtaken Ukraine now. Like, I think they have it. They have it now. It was a very short period of time. It was like less than a day. They basically have Ukraine now.
I know there's conflicts all throughout the country, but I know.
Yeah, there's little pockets, obviously, of resistance, and then there's separatists that are there helping out and whatever and all that stuff. But I mean, like, I think they have it now. So it's like, as long as it just stays there, and that's it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Because then what? Like, the UN comes in and says, "Hey, get out of here. Let's bring them back. You have to leave now." It's like, that's not going to happen. So I don't know where you would even go from here if this is where it stops. And now you start to figure out, like, okay, taking you to court and, you know, war crimes, all this stuff. Like, what do you do? What the fuck do you do against a powerhouse like Russia? Like, what do you do? You know?
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Just like a lot of the Russian population aren't for it as well. Like they're
right.
Yeah,
there's protests there, and I like some point. It's just like, how does that work if, like, you know, the general population's against it? It's like, is it just like, why are we listening to the one guy or something like that?
Because it's
he has the military is all on his side. He has like,
I guess, but like, do the military want to go to war? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
No, it's all.
Who knows? Who knows? They have their reasons. They have their reasons for going into Ukraine. They have their reasons, like their little fucking tiny little reason to give them motivation to go in there. Like, they have separatist Russians that are there that want to be part of Russia, and they're like, okay, well, and so they're conflicting with the Ukrainian government, so Russia's there to help them, is the official story, reason why they're there. So it's like,
that's why.
Come on. So it's like, okay, so I heard a really good example today from a coworker. He's like, it's like Alberta wanting to separate from Canada, you know, want to become an American state. So it's like, but Trudeau and the government and all the rest of Canada are like, no, this is a stupid idea. You know, like, fuck you. You're not doing that. And we're keeping you in Canada. And the state's like, well, we're going to send troops to help.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. That's the same idea. Just to put it into context for anybody that's listening. Because that was a really good.
with that was like, oh no, well they're like endangering Russian civilians too in Ukraine with all that too. So we want to send aid to make sure they're safe.
Exactly. They're fucking working.
Yeah, there was no truth
Like,
to that at all. It was all bullshit.
all
It was all
bullshit.
made up by Putin. Putin.
Yeah. Poutine.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Little
all.
extra
It's all
salt
like,
on that poutine. Fuck,
yeah,
man.
it's all this crap from that, right? So it's all whatever
Yeah.
they can, however they can twist it to make them look like they're the good guys in all of this, even
Right.
though like
Hey, we're
there's
not the bad guys
no,
here, man. Hey,
yeah, it's
we're
like,
just
what
helping
the,
our
yeah,
we're helping our brothers out, man. Like
yeah.
a
No, it's
couple
all,
schools get
and
blown up. I mean,
it's all political theater. It's all bullshit. There's
yep.
one I love. I think it was it yesterday or the day before? It might have been yesterday afternoon before they declared war with Ukraine. There's a live press conference from Russia that Putin puts on at 5 o'clock p.m. And it's odd because a little through the presentation, he takes off his watch and continues talking, and then see the guys in the background whisper them too. They all kind of cover up their watches. Well, it turns out on the video feed you can see with their watches. It was at 11:45 a.m. when they were filming all this. So it wasn't live at all. It's like it was all theater. It's all this bullshit, right? I'm like,
scheduled.
fucking hell, like God, like this. It's all bullshit from them. So I don't just a thing
Yeah.
from Russia. It's all just crap.
It's all timing, man. It's all timing.
It's all bullshit. Yeah. So
Before they could prepare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen.
No one really does. Yeah.
Just
I think
hope that it doesn't spread.
if I were to guess, and I'm not a strategist, a military strategist at all, if I were to say what would happen is they're gonna, I'm not, no, they're gonna come in and be like, "Hey, we liberated Ukraine." And they'll put in their own little puppet, and it's still Ukraine, it's still all their stuff, but now it's someone who's a little more in favor of the Russian ideology because Ukraine wanted to join NATO, not no more. Now it's going to be their own little CSGO or whatever it is, a Russian union for all the Soviet satellites they still own, and it's like, yeah, it's all that kind of bullshit, right? So
yeah,
I think we want to see that over anything else, and all this
reclaiming all the lost territories.
Yeah, all the old Soviet territories, pretty much.
The old Soviet territories, man.
Belarus, Latvia. There's a whole row of countries all signed up again. I'm like, fucking hell, it's all over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's that. There's this pandemic. There's the protests. There's China. There's when does it end?
Yeah.
When does it end, man?
Yeah.
Scary time.
See, that's what I was thinking too, as well. Like, I know now that we're adults, we know some more of this stuff. And I was thinking, as like when I was younger, I never thought of stuff like that because that wasn't my mindset. But like, was this stuff ever like this at all growing up? Like, I know there was certain things and certain dramas, but like
in the 60s and 70s, like
yeah,
the Cold
90s,
War
like,
was forever. They went on forever because there was always a threat of a nuclear assault, like the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
Like
in the 90s, you had the Gulf War and like
but even that too. That was like early 90s.
The Iraq War too, like when
I guess
there was that.
Yeah, I guess there was that.
There's two Iraq wars.
Yeah, there's only one Iraq.
Junior and senior.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
Fucking went in twice, like in Afghanistan and fuck,
that
man.
Too
like,
that was a gong show and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a Vietnam War. There was. There's constantly little conflicts.
There is. Yeah, we just never think of it, right? So. Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I don't know. I don't know what the.
I don't see it escalating. I hope it doesn't. I don't see it, but I don't know. You never know nowadays.
What the fuck do we know, man?
I know, right?
The esteemed gentlemen. We're not military strategists. We don't know the whole story. We just know that there is a literal fucking like crime lord that's running a country with one of the most powerful militaries in the world. Yeah. It's like my territory, we're taking it. I do what I want. Show some fucking respect.
Yeah,
that's what he is. Just a big fucking bully, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if we can send one person over there to talk with old Vlad to resolve this situation. Who do you send?
To resolve it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to sweet talk him, then to like
just like, hey, hey man, it's all good.
Pump the brakes.
Just go back to your house. I don't know. Who'd you send?
I don't think.
Jeez.
I don't know.
I know who it is.
Get him on Joe Rogan's podcast. Like, dude, what's going on?
Well, Joe Rogan might be.
That's
hey, what's
call, yeah.
You want to here? Let's smoke some and let's talk. let's man to man. Let's go. Let's talk about this. What started this? What triggered all this? Now, what was your mindset when this was happening? Like, what's going on with you? What were your parents like? Like, where did all this stem from? I think that'd be a really good podcast.
That would be bad.
And at the end of it, Joe Rogan comes out like, you know what? Russia was right.
Yeah. No, they're pretty good. Yeah. It's like,
Let them do what they want to do.
fuck.
But I was going to say, Steven Seagal. He's friends. He's buddies. Get him in there.
No.
I was going to say Dennis Rodman, but he's friends with North Korea, right?
Korea,
He's
yeah.
with the Korea.
Steven Seagal, get him in there. It's like, hey, Vlad.
You need to relax.
Hey, Vlad. Yeah. With a fatter sound.
Don't make me do the arm slap on you. Get out the fucking pool billiard balls in the sock and fucking start knocking people out. Like from that one movie he was in. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal, yeah, he's
goes over there, shares a couple of carrots or whatever.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal, we need you, Steven, more than ever. More than ever.
You could be you could be a real international hero, not even American hero.
International.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe he's a sleeper agent for the States. He's in there.
Isn't he like an honorary citizen of Russia, right? Like,
I think so. Something like that. It's so weird, man. Like, he's crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Joe Rogan it'd be good to have him on the podcast, but you need somebody that's like, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Who would send? But I'd like to have him on the podcast just to see if he could because he's so well trained. Because he used to be, Putin used to be like an actual interrogator and
KGB,
analyst.
right?
KGB, yeah. KGB special agent.
Most of his inner circle in the head of their
Senate or whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
they're all mostly KGB members. Yeah, from the 90s.
Yeah. Maybe we could send Ovechkin over there.
Yeah.
You play hockey? No, okay.
Yeah.
I'll never play for Team Russia again. All right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay, everybody, get the T90 tanks out of there. Let's go.
Whoa.
Shit. Yeah.
I changed my nationality.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just we'll have to watch, see what happens, and hopefully nothing else transpires. Nothing.
What branch of the military are you gonna go into? What's your role gonna be?
My role
in World War III?
Yeah, World War III.
You're infantry.
Now that I'm old as balls. Well, when I was 16 and I applied for the military and I was going to drop out of school, I applied for air defense, which is basically you sit in an anti-aircraft missile launcher. It's like a big ADAT system. But I don't know if I'd want to do that against Russia because they have a really good air force, and you'd be one of the first targets that gets blown up because you take those out, and then you can do your bombing runs, right? So, or artillery, but those get blown up first too. They get bombed, or infantry, and you get your cheeks clapped by an AK-47. So it's like I don't know what I would. I feel like I would want to be like I mentioned in the chat there. I probably want to be in like intelligence reconnaissance or something like that. Somebody that's like in HQ in the bunker, like analyzing stuff, not out there, get my hands bloody. I don't know. But when I applied for the military and I wanted to get into there, I wanted to do like the peacekeeping thing, like go and help people and do the rebuilding thing and all that stuff. When I was younger, I had all these big ideas. And they're like, oh, you got asthma, you can't come. Sorry. And then my uncle, who was in the 101st Airborne Division, and he was actually in the Gulf War. He was a captain. And he's like, oh, you're a dual citizen. Just join the American Army. I'm like, I'm not joining the American Army. They actually fucking fight and shoot people. I'm not doing that. Like, are you nuts?
Fuck that. Fuck that.
I don't want to go shoot somebody. I just want to fucking wear the uniform and help people, and
I just want to look good.
Do other stuff. I mean, I'll shoot if I have to. Fuck. I don't mean this. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be intelligence or something, maybe strategic planning. Yeah,
you're the only one who would pass the physical out of all of us. So
yeah, that is true. Yeah,
me and Eric will be drone operators.
Yeah, I'm sitting.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Yep.
Fly. I see planes all day. Yeah.
There you go.
Click, 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 click.
I just killed 400 people.
Do the big
watch my live stream tonight, 9 p.m.
Follow me on Twitch. Yeah.
We're going to Kiev tonight, boys.
I wonder if they have like
Fuck.
Boston Dynamic drones down the line. It's going to control one of those in the battlefield. Or fucking yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
Ain't
yeah.
that
something
the
like
ain't
that.
that the thing?
Yeah.
Right?
Fucking
Area 51 all of a sudden.
big
We
robot
got
dogs.
that's where we've been holding the robot army.
Yeah.
Right? Just freaking like VR, everything too, mechs and shit. Go
Oh
all
yeah.
Gundam style.
That came out, I would sign up first day. Like, yep, if I can pilot a Gundam, hell yeah. I would be
There you go, man.
sign up right away.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. And just for the hell of it, you got to sync up with somebody and share their emotions just because.
Yeah, if I
Just
go
because.
Pacific Rim, why the hell
Let's
not?
do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Oh
Make
my
it
god,
super
there's so much
dramatic.
trauma.
Yeah.
So much hate.
Right? Jeez. Group chat's blowing up here.
Yeah,
It's
apparently.
been going all
Crazy
day.
shit. All day, man. This whole thing is crazy. But yeah.
Pretty
Drone operator.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
You guys ever watched what's it called? Not Jack Reacher. The other one
was
on Amazon
confused.
Prime.
Yes.
Reacher?
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watched
Not
that,
yet.
that at all? The first season, there's like the B plot is about this drone operator guy, and he's like, just like super depressed and like feels bad for like just clicking on people and killing them, or whatever. And like he has like, this buddy that he works with him, and they bet like $1 or like 10 bucks every time if like they can get a kill or not, kind of thing. And so like he's like a pretty good operator, so he keeps like winning the bets. And like he finds out that he killed like the wrong dude or something like that.
Oh.
And then like so he's like super depressed about it, and like he goes home and he pins all the dollars like on his wall or something like that. So after he kills the wrong guy, he like takes all the dollars out, goes to like a casino and just like goes to like a roulette table and just like bets it all on like one number. He just like wants to get rid of the cash essentially, but he like keeps winning and stuff like that, so he can't like get rid of the money. And yeah, it goes from wild places from there, which is kind of crazy.
Jesus.
But
Is that the one with the bigger guy is now Jack Ryan?
it's what's his face?
Jim Halpert from The Office.
Oh, okay, no, I'm thinking of
John Krasinski. That's his name.
I'm thinking of the other guy, the other Amazon show that's also a Tom Clancy one.
Reacher?
Is it Reacher? Yeah, Jack Reacher now.
Yeah, that's just
that
the new one or whatever that just
That's a
came
new
out?
one. It is.
Yeah, that's Lee Child. That's not Tom Clancy.
No,
but,
no.
Yeah.
No,
it's Tom Cruise did 2 Jack Reacher movies, but he's too short.
That's it. Yes,
they said because in the book he's like 6'7",
yeah,
just a beast.
I forgot
He
he
hasn't
did
run-
2 Jack Reacher movies. The first one's really good, actually.
First one is really good. Yeah, the second one I never watched, but I heard it wasn't that great at all. But the show apparently is phenomenal, and the guy that plays him is just like
I should watch it.
awesome. Yeah.
So far, the Tom Clancy stuff on Amazon, most of it's okay. The Michael B. Jordan movie was terrible, but
No Remorse, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
The Jack Ryan show's pretty decent. But
yeah, I watched a few of the. Have you guys seen any of the Tom Clancy movies, like with Harrison Ford or The Sum of All Fears with Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman? I really liked Sum of All Fears.
Danger. I've seen most of them. Yeah, all the ones from the 90s, anyways. What's the other one for Harrison Ford? He did 2.
Clear and Present Danger, and then Patriot Games.
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are all right.
Some of All Fears I liked, but then the more I thought of it, I'm like, this wouldn't never happen in real life. Like that's the one thing with with the Clancy
it's too
stuff.
much of a pro-America kind of movie. It was
and how one guy can save the world. It's like that's such like the American
talk down
fantasy.
like a nuclear missiles. Like
it's like fuck. Okay, I once you figured out that with his stories, I'm like, okay, I don't feel as like intrigued about him anymore because there were some All Fears when it came out, like that was awesome, that was really cool. But I'm like, but that doesn't make any. I would never.
But like literally everything that happened, like the whole military, like okay, well they just destroyed our aircraft carrier. Let's go bomb. Let's go. We have to respond because if we do nothing, they're gonna think we're weak. The world's gonna like waiting for us to do something. Blah blah blah. And the president's like, I don't want to do anything. And then all of his guys are chirping and chirping. Like that stuff is like, man, I could never be in that situation. It's like, shut the fuck up. we gotta nuke them and we gotta nuke them now.
All right.
Like in Mars Attacks with Jack Nicholson, that general, he's always got his sunglasses on. He's like, Mr. President, I think we should nuke him. shut the fuck up, Larry. Like, let's go over what they want.
That's
What's
your
going on
answer
here?
to
Blah blah.
everything.
Mr. President, I highly suggest that we nuke these aliens. It's like, shut up. Jesus, freak out.
That's why it's like
God.
interesting, like looking at a president at the beginning of their like term, and then like after the 4 and 8 year mark, it's just like how much they aged.
20 years they've aged.
Like, yeah. Holy man.
Obama freaking
Obama had like
years and
jet black hair.
Yeah.
It comes out with like gray, white hair, like just done
like,
with
he
all
looked
the
like
bullshit.
young and like when he first came in, I'm like, holy shit. And then he finished like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
He's an old man now. Yeah. Yeah, so.
Well, I hear her squealing back there.
Mm-hmm.
She's all revved up.
Mm-hmm.
Supper must be here.
Yeah. I should let you go.
Sorry, guys.
All good. Any final thoughts before you?
Hope everyone is safe.
Hope everyone's okay.
Yeah.
If you're into the praying thing, pray for Ukraine.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
hope nothing else goes terribly wrong, man. Hopefully Russia's like, okay, we got our point across. Let's go home now, and you know, something happens that way. But yeah, I guess we'll keep watching.
It's only day one, technically, of all this shit going down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
How much far shit goes on day 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for today's episode.
Political.
Yeah, political.
Wow.
But I think everybody can kind of agree with this. I would hope.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's on Russia's side.
If we're talking about this, it's
Hopefully.
we're the obvious at this point, right? Exactly, right? So
yeah,
if we're making up these points, it must be the obvious points because
right,
it's us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get out of here. Have a great weekend. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. That'd help us out. Head over to our Facebook page, like the page. Shoot us a question for Ask Us Anything, which is coming up. Yep. And we'll be back here Monday with an interesting episode, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
See you guys.